Today we're going to go over some TIG welding tips on how to get better and more consistent passes. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode from Pacific Arc TIG Welding. My name's Dusty. I'm a welding artist from Vancouver Island, Canada. I do welding projects in both two-dimensional and three-dimensional art surfaces. And on my YouTube channel, I love showing off and teaching the art of TIG welding. So if you've never seen my channel before, be sure to bounce back. There's a ton of previous episodes there for you to watch. So a couple weeks ago, I introduced a new saying on my channel. It had to do with the most vital part of a TIG weld, and that is the start. There's a link in the description below. If you missed that episode, check it out. And that saying was, fill and chill. So I wanted to demonstrate the results of fill and chill a little more here. So I was doing some stainless mounts for a government contract job. Can't really talk about it. Maybe I'll give you a hint. It was for a spaceship. But anyway, there's some great examples of something I wanted to demonstrate with fill and chill a little bit more here. So take a look at this first example here. First example looks pretty good. You can see I managed my heat enough to keep a nice gold finish. Not too bad. There's a little bit of oxide, but it's pretty minimal. So compare that one to this pass here. We have better puddle shape. We have a better finish on it. It's even more gold than the last one. Both passes had the same heat as well as the same settings across the board. You can obviously see there's some slight differences between the two. So what are the differences? Look at the start this one had. This one at the start was a little bit shy on filler. When it's a little bit shy on filler, we see the most oxidized area of the pass right at the beginning. So you can see, because it was a little bit shy with filler at the beginning, it blew up a little bit of oxide right off the start. I managed to correct it a little bit, but that's where you see it the most. So compared to this pass we had more filler at the start, more fill and more time for the filler rod to blend at the start. Fill and chill. With a little bit more time at the start, it actually managed to heat up a little bit more, which let the puddle spread out a little better, which worked the additional fill that I gave at the start. Once my puddle had fully established and blended in properly, I could start ripping with it. But because the start was bolstered by a little bit more fill, a little bit more chill, overall I got a better finish. And one really important thing that I've talked about in that fill and chill episode, I want to point it out here. Check this out. I want you to take a look at the heat affected zone here. Obviously first one, not bad. We kept a decent finish, but compare it to this one. This one's way better. It's a slimmer heat affected zone. So how did the same settings have different heat inputs? It's all in the start. Like I said before, at the start, I had more fill, more chill, let everything blend out fully. I built up my start to a proper profile. Then once I had the proper profile, I moved on from there. And once you have a perfect start, there's less to adjust on the fly. You can focus more on the small details like puddle consistency and puddle shape, all while keeping a smaller heat affected zone, which makes it easier for your gas to do a better job and cover the weld. Here's an example of a trash start. This is one of mine, by the way. The heat affected zone is crazy, way out of control. Still, it's okay, somewhat clean, but way too much oxide and heat affected zone. The heat affected zone is out of control in this one. When you have a heat affected zone that is blown up this much, it is very difficult for the gas to do its job. The gas is barely keeping up with the heat affected zone to cover it enough, as you can see by a little bit of excessive oxide formed on the surface of the weld as well as the material. So, in my opinion, at the beginning of a pass, it pays to overfill a little bit and wait a touch. Let the filler do its job to fully blend, and it will control a little bit of the heat input into your base material. So if this helped anyone out, here's how you can repay me. You go out today and do a random act of kindness for a stranger. I don't care how big, how small, in person, online, doesn't matter. Just do something to spread some positivity in the world today. We need it. So to all the ARC heads who watch all the way to the end of each episode, I appreciate you very much. Everybody out there, stay cool, fill and chill. See you next week. Peace.